Hello and welcome to another episode of Wellness with Walfinch. I'm Amrit Dhaliwal, the CEO and founder of Walfinch, and this is Louise Harwood, a 5-star international event rider. Thank you for joining us.
That's okay. Thanks for having me. Really interesting.
I'm looking forward to this episode. Let's rock and roll.
So let's warm up our necks a little bit. So start with your chin on your chest and then just gently look over to one shoulder. So keep your chin down and then come back to the center with your chin and then just very slowly, small little movement over to your other shoulder and then come back to the middle. And now just increase it each time how far you get your head to turn around. Back to the middle again, keeping the chin down. So each time we increase a little bit more. Okay. Now just relax for a second, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Now try a head tilt, so taking one ear, say your left ear towards your left shoulder. Let it just stay there a little bit without hitching your left shoulder up. Now come back to the middle and then go the other way. Gently just letting it drop and stretch. And each time it will give in a little bit more. Back to the middle, back to the side. So all of these are slow and controlled movements. We do not want to be doing this too fast. And only go as far as is comfortable. It would be easy to push these too far. Your body should not be saying ow at any point on this. If so, back off. Okay, now come back to the middle again. Now try looking over your shoulder. So keeping your head very straight and seeing how far back you can go, just comfortably. Now come back to the middle slowly and go over looking over your other shoulder. And you'll probably find one way is more supple than the other. Yeah. Come back to the middle and then back that way. And just you're gradually increasing your range of movement. And then come back to the middle and rest again.
Lovely.
So once you've done your seated warm-up, you've got your legs moving on, we're moving on then to the next part of our body. We're going to see if we can get our shoulders moving a little bit. So start small and then try and gradually build up. So just starting with small shoulder shrugs, so shoulders up to your ears. And start small and then eventually we'll work on getting the full range of movement and getting those shoulders coming right up.
And should my arms be straight down or bent? What's better?
A bit of a bend in the elbow is fine.
Great.
And you're looking forwards. So now start to take your shoulders into a little bit of a rotation. So start with some forward rotations. So again, starting small, don't expect huge movement to start with, but then gradually make those circles bigger and bigger. All the time you're trying to keep your back relaxed, you know, not sitting bolt upright, but you're just sitting in a relaxed movement, but you're not slumping either. You're sitting up tall. Imagine someone's pulling something up at the top of your head, so you're sitting tall and elegant, like you're on a horse. Yeah. Okay, and then when you're ready, go backwards, so do it in opposite direction, so just do your shoulder rotations back. And we're starting to get bigger now. The shoulders are finding a bigger range. So I've recently broken my left shoulder humerus quite badly. So my left one is having to do lots of exercises like this to start to try and get a little bit of mobility.
Gosh.
Get full movement back. But we're a long way off full movement yet, but we're getting there.
And that was from a horse fall?
That was from a horse fall at Blenheim Horse Trials, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's now got a little bit of metal work and quite a few screws in there, and it will start moving again.
Gosh.
Okay, and then relax. And we'll then move on to another. Fold your arms, just very gently just place one hand on top of the other elbow, just crossed over. And you've got those elbows about shoulder height. So we're now just trying to sit comfortably, sitting tall still, no slumping allowed. And see if you can just gently twist the upper body to one side and then back to the middle. Keeping your hips fairly face forward, so we're not trying to twist our whole body and fall off the chair. We're keeping our pelvis and our hips fairly straight and just getting that upper body and spine to rotate a little bit. And to the side and then back to the middle and just gently either side. And if you did 5 each side and then had a little break and then did another set then of those, you would just feel your body starting to loosen up a bit. Good, and then rest when you're ready. So this is another stretch you can do. To safely do it at home, you'll be on your chair, so you'll have a back to your chair. So if you feel insecure, you can hold the back of the chair for support. What you're aiming to do, so you imagine that's the back of my chair, I might be holding on to that there. I've got one foot flat on the ground, bending my knee. Going to take my other leg behind me as far back as I can comfortably. Now, make sure your hips are facing forwards and straight, and you're almost going to push your pelvis forwards and that lower leg back a little bit, staying tall, and you should feel a stretch at the front of your quads, a little bit in hip flexors, and a little bit in the pelvis, just stretching that side of our body. And then when you're ready, come back and then do the same the other way. If you need to, hold the back of there for support. So taking your leg behind you as far as is comfortable, keeping those hips straight and upright, your pelvis up. Now we should feel that stretch down the front of the quads, in here, and then rest, coming back into the